Today's video is inspired by my monkey friend here. He doesn't want to eat what's in that bowl of food. And this is another friend of mine, another monkey bro. He also doesn't like that sausage. And there's a reason for it. Since the pandemic lockdowns in China, there's something new that's been happening in the food industry. It's called pre-prepared dishes, which are essentially 80 to 90% cooked meals that are served to takeouts and even in restaurants. They can be heated up in just a minute. Here's the catch, those bags can last over a year with what's inside. And monkey bros aren't the only animals who don't dare to eat what's been served to them. Here is a stray dog who doesn't even want the person's leftover from delivery. And that's because the food is essentially made in the microwave but produced in a factory. It's loaded with preservatives, definitely not healthy.
现在的牛肉狗都不吃，给个面子，给个面子，鲜牛肉啊！来来来来来，5万鲜的，哎呀！
But today's video is an overall trend of the toxic food that's in China, and I hope by the end of it, I can crown you in the comments Iron Stomach Champion. So let me know in the comments if you make it to the end of the video. And before we begin, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so as we put out content like this every single week. And also, it's the end of the year, almost tax season in the United States. And if you're looking to help out the channel, consider making a tax-deductible donation for China Insider. We work with a great nonprofit. Check out the link in the description. And I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who have donated to our channel so far. I want you to imagine yourself. You're stepping into a Chinese restaurant called, let's say, Imperial Garden Chinese food. Okay, I made that name up, but I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it somewhere in the United States. Let me just give you the process from the source of the food ingredients to the table where you're going to be eating it. First, let's talk about the back end of the kitchen, right? You got the dishwasher. This is how they handle the dishes. Yeah, that's going to be the bowl that's serving your food. Now, you see, street food and even eating out is a part of Chinese society today. I think with how busy people's lives are and also just how easily accessible street food is in China, it's really common for people to eat 3 meals a day outside of their homes. Whereas in the United States, you have more control over where you're buying the ingredients and what you're going to eat. So there's that huge difference already, which means really in China, when you're eating out, you're really leaving it up to the chefs and the restaurant to not poison you. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of Chinese people, and everything's gonna be fake or bad, right? Let's just start with the least of the evil, which is the sauces and the oil. So let's say we obviously need soy sauce for Chinese food, so we try to go get some artisanal traditional formula soy sauce from the street vendors, but it turns out it's just poured in bottles of soy sauce. Well then, you gotta have cooking oil, right? So we see that a stall is selling fresh pressed peanut oil. That can't be faked, right? Well, it turns out it can.
那种街上现榨的花生油，你们千万不要再去买了。我今天去菜市场买菜的时候，我看到那里有现榨的花生油，我还以为真的是花生榨出来的油。然后我问多少钱一斤，他说11块。然后我说我买一点回去，因为我有时候会炸一点东西，会用到花生油。然后我就买了5斤，这里55块钱。买回来之后，我热了一下锅，准备煮一点东西来吃，结果闻到一股好大的味道啊！那个油不知道是什么味道，反正就是闻到的时候好臭的那种感觉，就是臭死了。
We haven't even gotten to the gutter oil yet. To be honest with you, this is all relatively good. I know it's disgusting, but relatively good to what we're going to be talking about next. Let's say the chef wants seafood on the menu for dinner. Well, we're going to go get crabs. This woman is injecting what looks like orange roe, crab roe, into the crab. And they also do this with this chemical that they use to bleach the underside of the crab to make it more white, and then it sells for a higher price. You gotta have scallion, gotta make some scallion oil. Well, apparently scallion oil turns that color in China. It's not supposed to. I've fried scallion oil before, and it doesn't give you a neon green color. We can't forget about the main stuff, protein. So there's a shop called Fu, which serves this type of food called mala tang. It's a very popular style of food in China. It's like kind of like hot pot. Well, it just turns out they found maggots, live maggots inside of these soup in the restaurant. So there's one case that this picture here shows, which is in mainland China, and then another case was reported in one of their stores in Japan. Now, based on the Twitter page or X page of the Japanese Fu, their caption here slogan is, "We source carefully the best ingredients from natural sources to give you the best flavors." Well, I guess it kind of makes sense because maggots give both natural and flavors. Okay, we're still on protein. This is fake beef that this person bought from an online live stream. Yes, I know it's kind of ridiculous to buy your meat from a live streamer, but that's how people shop in China. So she parboiled the beef, but it smushes up so easily. Beef is not supposed to do that, especially after you parboil it. Unless it's some A5 Wagyu, it's gonna be rubbery because you only parboiled it. How about some pork? Okay, that's all pretty bad. Maybe let's go to some other street vendors. Oh, here we get scammed. So this woman is essentially bait and switching the same price per pound or per kilogram in China for the lesser quantity, which obviously you're paying more for that supposedly same amount of weight, but it's actually less than what you paid for. Now let's move on to vegetables. So apparently in this video, people were saying that it's because they use something called a Bordeaux mixture. That's why under UV light, it's showing that most of the peppers are this neon blue color. I just can't really believe that 100% because, okay, apparently this video, the woman later boiled it with vinegar and baking soda separately, and it doesn't remove the coloring. I just can't trust the Chinese farmers to really just have an authentic Bordeaux mix. And by the way, the mix is supposed to be like a fungicide to kill the fungus. That can't be healthy when you eat it. What does this all mean? Well, it's very simple. Everything you consume in China is in some levels toxic or fake, or a combination of both, or just downright dirty. Now, if you've been to China, it's actually pretty common for you to get stomach aches and to get sick from food. I know, like, even Chinese people who've lived outside of China for many years, when they went back, they even got sick. So that's why the Chinese people get a nickname called iron stomach, because it's really true. Their stomach can handle anything at that point once you've had food in China. Okay, so that was just the fresh stuff, right? Let's move on to condiments and maybe carbs. How about things like pickled vegetable? This is one company handling their pickled vegetable. You're gonna mix in the spices on the ground with the pickle. How about carbs? This video shows what looks like fake rice, as it looks more like oatmeal or natto beans than actual rice. And this one is even worse. It stretches like a rubber band. I'm just thinking because I saw this video, I'll show it to you, of a BMW secondhand. The hood of it is fixed with ramen noodle. Is ramen in China like industrial grade? It's no wonder because it's all just chemical wonderlands. Now, I'm kind of joking because this whole pre-prepared dish has become a meme in China. Now, this video here is a short film documentary. It's mimicking a very famous documentary produced by the Chinese state media called Taste of China. And even the voiceovers and everything is just beautifully done, but it's a spoof of that. And here, watch.
每天中午是这家预制菜馆最忙碌的时段。
这师傅做那预制菜真不孬，这手艺太棒了，我感觉他们家微波炉用的都不一样，有锅气。是。
菜包解冻是做预制菜最重要的步骤，缓冻的方式包括用大盆缓、用小盆缓、用碗缓。最奢侈的缓冻方式莫过于微波炉加热。缓冻的方式各家不同，只有烹饪美食的匠心必不可少。
快点搞，快点搞，快点热好都肯定用了1分钟，还没好。好了，好了，做好了，做好了。1分钟后，经过菜汤静静的冒泡，每一袋厂商批发的冷冻菜包将变成香喷喷的预制菜。这一刻，犹如春回大地，万物复苏。
So yeah, talking about this, thinking about it, seems like pre-prepared meals are relatively healthier, in a sense. So let's go to you now. You're the customer. Now you've been rushed to sit down, and the server is very rudely telling you to order. Now, if you timed it from the moment that you ordered, like from the moment that she rang up your order, 60 seconds. If the food comes out onto your table, chances are you got pre-prepared dishes loaded with preservatives. If it takes longer, well, congratulations. This Chinese chef is actually cooking your meal. By now, you're probably thinking, maybe I shouldn't eat in Chinese restaurants. Yeah, sometimes, the taste and the hunger takes over, and you kind of crave that food. It's inevitable, right? But let's say after dinner, you want a little bit of a snack. Maybe you go for some stinky tofu. Yeah, people really like stinky tofu in China. Well, maybe not after this video. This person was filling up the stinky tofu bucket with what looks like to be a public sink, the bottom pipe part. Yeah, like the part where hand washing after you go to the bathroom, spit, vomit, whatever else is going down that pipe. She's using that part to fill up the water. So basically in China, you can run a restaurant, a takeout stall at least, with just 2 people and a microwave or a pot of boiling water. It's kind of crazy in China how you can just skip the entire reason to go to a restaurant, which is chef prepared meals. Now, people are going to be saying, oh, well, McDonald's or Wendy's also do that. I've worked at, not McDonald's, I've worked at Dairy Queens. Yeah, they use a microwave, but they still at least cook their patties and everything from like the frozen stuff. Or I've worked in restaurants where, pre-preparing certain parts of the dish is okay, like, portioning the rice, portioning the meat, flatten, the chicken breast or something like that, right? Or making the sauce. And you could combine that. That's fine, but everything's made from scratch, not coming out from a packet. But you know what? Sometimes they try to distract you from that fact. Hey, now at least you've got a girl inside a giant hot pot serving you hot pot. That must mean the place is great, right? Or how about you actually check for whether or not this pot is even washed? I just don't like the idea of, skin near where I'm eating, other than the hands, of course, because that's inevitable. You gotta hold things. Yeah, it just doesn't really appeal to me in that fact. All right, if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. You can now call yourselves, pat yourself on the back and call yourself Iron Stomach, at least visually. But it might turn you off from Chinese food for a while. I don't know, but I'm just speaking the facts. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you made it this far, and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and thank you so much for watching today.